just a quick story. We deployed an AI solution for a large bank. In 2020, they got hit with some large fines from the federal government. So the bank at that time had decided to deploy 700 to 800 employees overseas. Our team looked at a Google product at that time called Bird and said, hey, look, maybe we can apply this concept of AI to doing this. And so we presented that. We tested with it, and now it's in full deployment globally. And so that was AI for us in 2020, way before ChatGPT.
Well, welcome to Growth By. Lori, I'm so excited to be doing this again.
Matt, it's good to see you in your new jacket.
Yeah, new jacket. Just got it last night.
Yeah.
I realized that I was wearing the same jacket almost every time.
No, we can't do that. We got to mix it up.
So, and we've got a great guest today, which I'm really excited about.
We do.
I feel like this week has been one of the fastest weeks I've ever had. It's been a very fast week.
It's Thursday.
So,
a lot going on.
A lot going on.
And our guest made time to come here today.
Yeah. So we will certainly get to that. And, but I'm excited. So I want to introduce who has become a good friend of mine, Barjis Ghadially. Did I pronounce that right?
That's good.
Pretty good?
Spot on.
So
oh my gosh.
Parents would be impressed.
Yeah. I practice it a little bit. But Barjis and I have gotten to know each other a little bit. We'll get into that. But he is the CEO of WorldLink. And I would love for you to, share a little bit about WorldLink and just kind of the space you guys are in. And obviously the role of CEO, you're running the show. So yeah, if you could just kind of share a little bit.
Love to do that. Well, first, thank you, Lori. Thank you, Matt. This is a treat. So you always hear podcasts, and you want to, hopefully someday be on one and talk about things. But yeah, this is great, unscripted, and just chatting. So I'd love to share what I can, and hopefully that's meaningful.
Yeah.
Just talking about the company, WorldLink, 27 years in business, local, Frisco-based, been in Frisco since 2007, so I've seen a lot of that growth happening over here. And it's a technology services company that's, for the last 27 years, been on the forefront of technology. What I mean by that is, we're small, boutique, 500 employees all in the U.S., so we've been somewhere between 500 to 2,000 plus employees, but all in the U.S., not one of those technology companies that's offshore outsourcing. And we may get there someday, but not today. Mm-hmm. And the way we get a seat at the table is by helping companies innovate. When companies want to enable technology that's new, you can call that emerging technology, then WorldLink finds a way to be a partner there and enable that. And so we've done that over the last 27 years, talking about all the way from enabling network technology for cell phones, going from, imagine 1G or pre-1G to what we're talking about now, 5G and 6G. So we've been part of that journey, enabling that. Smartphones, one of our customers is the biggest competitor to Apple, and so we help them take a bite out of Apple and enable smartphones for them. So the whole line of Samsung Galaxy line of products, we've been a part of that. And then since about 2015, our focus has been enabling data transformation, helping companies with data strategies, which has now led to machine learning and then enablement of AI for enterprises. Yeah. So that's...
I have so many questions.
Let's go.
Okay.
Go.
All right. Because you have used the word enable a couple times, and you're like, we helped a company enable smartphones. I don't know what you mean by that.
Sure. So, think about, in the past requiring just engineering resources. When a company wants to compete or make a name in technology, the first thing they need is resources. And if you think about in 2000 through 2010, engineering resources were very, very hard to find in the United States, or they typically went for other large brand companies at those times, whether it be Microsoft or Oracle or Cisco. So somebody like Samsung had to compete, was not a known name. Today we know Samsung. At that time nobody knew them. And so we became their partner and kind of aligned ourselves to their goal and, use the word loyalty, where, hey, look, we're going to be your partner to compete and to transform your company into a smartphone company. And so basically, it wasn't that we were offering we became their extension, and managed a lot of their technology initiatives. The Korean company that headquartered from Korea wanted to grow in the U.S., didn't have a brand recognition, didn't have a footprint. They needed a partner. Okay. And so that was one of the big, catalysts for our growth as well, is to be a partner with Samsung.
Was there marketing involved in that? Was that in your lane, or was it just all in a technology space, a digital space?
Marketing, what do you mean?
Well, you said they weren't a phone company like in 2001, right? So they had to make a brand for themselves, a known household name. So was it more marketing related, or did you help them with other resources?
No, more both, but more focused on the engineering.
Okay.
So when I say engineering, there's just getting into a little bit of weeds of technology. A product's developed in Korea, developed for the Korean market. They want to sell it in the U.S. They don't sell to us, to the consumers. They sell to Verizon, AT&T,
Yes. Okay.
T-Mobile, Sprint. So you need to commercialize that phone for the U.S. market.
That is helpful.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's where our engineering services made the phones ready for the U.S. market, per se. And also, there's a business where you're selling phones to individuals, and then you're selling phones to enterprises, to the U.S. government, FBI, and then to build software products on top of the phones to make them ready for that enterprise. That's how we help them take a bite out of the market. Because the market was dominated by Apple.
Yeah. So there's probably a good amount of security that you guys are involved too.
Yeah, security as well as trust, right?
Yeah.
A lot of trust. So we made some very big decisions. Hey, we're not just going to go offer our services to every cell phone. There was, if you think about Motorola and Sony and Sanyo and Huawei, Chinese companies, and so we said, no, we're going to be loyal to Samsung, and so it paid off both ways.
Okay, that's cool. So I kind of want to get into some of the exciting stuff that I wanted to talk about. Can we do that? Or
I don't know if I'm done with this
okay,
part.
let's
Hold on.
go. Just keep going.
So 27 years, that's a lot. But I want to. Okay, one more question.
Sure. No.
Okay, because you brought up right off the bat that you don't outsource anything, which is very common, even for our business. You said every job is here in the United States. Why did you, one, focus on that to tell us right now, and two, why wouldn't you outsource?
Yeah, good questions. It goes back to the value that we're creating. So if the way we get a seat at the table as WorldLink, a small firm, is by helping companies with what you'd call their innovation secret projects, right? And so for that, we have to first build that trust, the credibility, and it's just our customers, for the work that we do for them, they prefer it to be onshore.
Okay.
Mostly for, like Matt mentioned, security reasons and
Control.
IP reasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so,
that makes sense.
And so the kind of work that WorldLink gets involved in is the emerging technology, and then if it gets to a point where it's technology that just needs to be maintained, then that's the kind of work that usually gets outsourced from a technology standpoint. So we truly are that innovation partner, advisor early on, doing the proof of concept, doing a minimally viable product, and then if it needs to go, large scale, then they may use another partner to do it or do it internally, and then it gets maintained offshore.
Sure. Okay. An
So-
MVP.
Yeah.
Was that the intent when you guys started the company, that's what you wanted to focus on, or did it become clear kind of 5 years in that
Yeah,
that's a value?
Yeah, I usually say that the company's been through, is in its third phase, right? The first phase was super reactive. Just get whatever you can do. So the first 10 years is, hey, companies need engineering resources, all the resources. If you remember Dallas history, Nortel was the dominant employee out of Richardson, and everybody wanted to go to Nortel. So helping other companies get engineering resources reactively, right? And so that was the first 10 years. And then the next 10 years is kind of predicting where the market is and being ready for it. Okay, telecom, the smartphone industry is going to go crazy. People are going to go to cloud. Let's keep resources ready. Let's keep some processes and methodologies ready so we can react and we can, be ready. And now I think we're in this stage where we've become a little more proactive in the sense of, hey, look, if you want to get ahead of your competitors, or if you want, data strategy, AI, data transformation is necessary.
Yeah.
So we're in that third stage now. So to answer your question, it's, went from reactive to being in the industry, being ready to transform quickly, keep it exciting for ourselves, and not do the same thing over and over. I think that's just been the evolution.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
So the AI piece, I would imagine, like, being able to keep up with the evolution of AI is probably really difficult. Like, how can you be that value to a company to let them know, like, you're at the head of the curve, the tip of the spear of AI when it comes down to it?
Yeah, it is truly, to your point, kind of in the DNA of the leadership of the company to be ready to innovate, right? To say, hey, look, what we're doing is not the best way to do things, or maybe the best way today, but there's a better way down the road. Just a quick story. We deployed an AI solution for a large bank, a large commercial bank that unfortunately got hit. They grew very fast. They grew through a lot of acquisitions, and that kind of created a lot of gaps in their processes. And in 2020, they got hit with some large fines from the federal government. And the way you cure for these fines is that for fine plus, the government gives you orders on how your bank should proceed forward or how your processes need to be updated. And if you think about a large bank and all the processes that they have, that's millions and millions of documents, and so and then the government gives you a very short time to cure it. So the bank at that time had decided to deploy 700 to 800 employees overseas to kind of cure this and get it done so that they don't get another fine, because there's another large fine coming if you don't get it done. We were a partner of that bank doing some small work at that time, and they did kind of an internal Shark Tank and said, can anybody come up with a better idea than 700 to 800 people actually going in and redacting documents and making sure it's updated? And so our team looked at a Google product at that time called Bird and said, hey, look, maybe we can apply this concept of AI to doing this. And so we presented that. That got very well received by the executives of the bank. We tested with it, and now it's in full deployment globally. And so that was AI for us in 2020, way before ChatGPT even was a household name.
Yeah.
How long did you test it?
So you have to do really rapid testing. So the development took a couple of months. Then for bank testing, it was a lot, right? To basically say, hey, this can work, and then you start growing it with data, taking bigger chunks of data, and then you say, okay, we're going to now build it out and productionize it across the whole global bank. And now today is the way they handle any kind of updates to all of their processes and documents. It's become their main way of doing things, and and the technology has evolved, and the concept, and with AI coming, with more and more, like you said, forefront new things coming up, it's evolved. What it did for us was kind of validate, hey, this is a way to move forward, and so we've created something called WorldLink Labs, which we're constantly testing all the new LLMs that come out, anything that's any way to see if we can be more efficient with hardware, with GPUs. That's a huge cost, and things like that. So we have a bunch of young, talented engineers that play with AI and LLMs like people play video games at night.
What's an LLM?
Large language model. So that's what trains if you want to. AI works when something is trained.
Okay.
So you use the large language model to train.
So
train processing.
What's the coolest thing, as much as you could say, in this lab? What's the coolest thing you've seen or your team's seen?
Wow. Look, I'm a business guy. The coolest thing that we're solving, besides what we've done for the bank, the coolest thing I think our team has solved is helping one of our clients with tariffs.
Okay.
Because tariffs are changing.
That's a real thing.
Changing things, as fast as AI is moving things.
Yes.
Tariffs have a huge impact to a lot of businesses, and looking at what government regs are, looking at how the companies are doing business. Businesses haven't changed. The huge impact of tariffs is that companies buy from each other for a long time. The contracts are pretty old, stale. They just renew. It's steel. It's rubber. It's things, and so now the tariffs have a larger impact on American companies than they have on anybody else, right? Because you've already given that contract, and you're the one who has to pay that tariff. You're not going to be able to renegotiate a contract in the middle of. And so using AI and automation and putting those contracts in with the tariffs, training, looking at all the different permeations, you can actually tell somebody, hey, who to buy from today, where to bring it. Should you leave your product on shore or offshore in the ship for a little while so you can save some money and not pay the tariff? Or, if something is like your pen has, 10% steel, then let's just call that 10% out because you only pay tariff on the 10%, not the whole pen. So there's a lot of things that you can do with those models. And that's really the cool stuff to help our partners, help our customers, right? Otherwise,
that seems like a lot more than just a technology consultant. Like, you're getting into the grassroots of business. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
What do you think is, what do you think is the biggest threat to AI? Like, just it could be personally, it could be professionally, it could be business or whatever.
It's the threat is it's just a delay of it being part of every way we look at things, right? So right now the biggest threat is just human behavior in the sense of folks like to still empire build. So if you're a leader, you still want to have a team of 70, 100, and anytime AI is mentioned, you think that's going to be reduced. So the first resistance is, well, not really for me, or my people do so many things. And the counter to that is, if I were to ask you with no conversation of AI, you would say, my day is packed. I don't have enough time. My day this week just flew by, right? I can't go. I wish I could go spend time with my kids or go to a football game or a soccer game, and I can't. And it's like, okay, well, then let's see where we can help you get more done or make that time available with AI.
It feels like that's been through my entire lifetime, though. Technology is increasing. Things are getting easier. But my day is getting more and more packed.
You're doing more. So you're doing more.
I'm
right?
doing, yeah, I'm for sure.
You're doing more.
And so I don't know if AI is going to help me go to see Izzy play golf. See Izzy play golf.
Well, you're the guy that he just talked about that said, "Oh, I don't know if AI is for me," but like, there's probably solutions out there right now. I think of just trying to.
No, I think, but internally, it just allows me to get more done.
Right, you're not using that time to go see Izzy play golf.
I still live at a capacity. Yeah, it's on me, right?
That's totally on you.
Yeah. Okay, I want to get into your leadership mind a little bit. You've been leading this company for a while. And would just love to hear some of the ideals that you have around leadership. And then, I imagine some of the projects and some of the initiatives that WorldLink has done, you've had to more so look at that from, you're kind of up here and you can't get into the weeds that much, and the balancing of not being able to get in the weeds, but still being kind of the primary stakeholder to what's going on. Like, how do you manage that leadership hat? Honestly, the CEO's leadership hat, that you're truly responsible for the work that's done, but you can't do all the work, right? So how do you balance all that?
Again, these are things you've learned being in the role, right? And so then there is self-awareness. I think that's the most important part of leadership for me is the self-awareness that to be a leader, you need the team. You know, so and then if by definition, if you have a team, then you know what your capabilities are. Be very super aware of what you can do, and acknowledge that, and then build a team or bring the team that can kind of augment that and help get to the goals you need to get to. It's not something that you wake up in the morning and go, okay, I need to go lead, right? You basically wake up and you go, okay, this is where we should be going. This is the passion. This is what we believe is the need in the market that we want to solve. And I think that's all people need to see. And then if you're aware that, hey, you're not the person who can do it all, or you're not the person who knows it all, then people will work with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not something that.
So there's a humility to it.
Yeah, it's especially for us, it's technology. I can assure you. I mean, I'm not an engineer by degree, and definitely people know a lot more than. So then it almost comes down to operationalizing the risks that you need to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, somebody needs to take an executive decision. Somebody needs to take a decision.
Yeah.
And then just move on from there.
Yeah.
When you are finding people to run your business, because you cannot be everywhere at once all the time.
Sure.
You can't be. What are you looking for, especially in your direct reports? Okay, the people that are carrying out your vision and your strategy down the chain. What's the number one trait you want them to have?
Be super inquisitive.
Curious.
Be curious, super curious, because from our side, it really has to be, hey, truly understand what makes we're for-profit business, what makes us money, or what loses money, right? From a shareholder perspective, or from that, and then if you truly understand, so you're not doing your job just because somebody told you to do it, right? Hey, go do this. Anybody can do that, but really understand why anybody's doing what they're doing. And then really understand the customer, right? Really understanding. So if I'm looking for people who will challenge or question, say, hey, is my effort helping the company make money or lose? And then when they're talking to me, my questions really are going to be around, why is this customer wanting to do what they want to do? Where do they want to go with this? What are their MBOs? And then can you, as an executive, align yourself with that? And only then will I, when you say working for me, will I have great chemistry with that person, right? That's what it comes down to.
Do you need to like them?
No, you know what? I actually have a really good way of separating like versus people who do their work really
That can
well.
execute. Okay.
Yeah, there are certain things
Maybe
about
respect is a good word. You probably want to respect them.
If they're not curious, if they're not curious, then there is that the interaction doesn't happen, Matt.
Yeah.
And you interact with people that are curious and will ask you and put you on the spot, right? And then when you say, hey, maybe we should do it this way, and they go, yeah, but what about this other way? If they're not doing that, then how are you going to respect or how are you going to interact with them?
Yeah.
And so for me, that's super, super important. To answer Lori's question about I have a great way of, one of my self-awareness things is I can shut off work when I need to. I can walk into the house and be disconnected. I can walk into a customer's building and be a different person. I can walk into WorldLink and be in the way that what's necessary for me to kind of make it successful, right? I don't like to bring all the baggage into everything that I go.
You leave work at the door when you come home. You leave home at the door when you go to work.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can really do that.
That's a skill set.
Yeah, I can do that.
It
And
really is.
that wasn't that you become aware of that as you are through the growth phase of the business, right?
Okay.
You really
Growth
become
by.
aware of that.
Yeah.
There you go.
You don't become. It's not something you grow up knowing. As you go, you can do this. This is what makes you a little bit more successful, and allows you to enjoy family.
Yes.
Because that's everything.
Yes, that makes sense.
Well, Barjis and I met first in New York City, and we were invited to join up with Kevin Brennan with Workday, an amazing guy, and we played in a golf tournament together at Liberty National. And I think a lot of people listening to this, might not be golfers, but it's a pretty special place. It's a golf course right on the other side of the river from New York. And you're looking straight at the Statue of Liberty the whole time you're playing.
Yeah.
And so it was a really cool setting to get to know each other. And I think we enjoyed that time. And then we ended up having a follow-up round of golf here in town. And I asked you, how'd you get to the U.S.? And I think your first comment was like, do you really want to know? And
I really want to know.
And I said, yeah, I do. So it's a really, really special story, and I can't wait to hear it now. Not having a golf shot in between the story, I think we probably talked about it for 2 holes,
probably.
But so I just kind of want to open it up, and I want to hear about how you got here.
Well, first of all, you shouldn't worry about doing anything between 2 golf shots because it just comes so natural to this guy.
It's real annoying, right? It's so annoying to play with him.
I'll tell you one story on the golf part before I get into that one, if you don't mind. We were at Liberty National and playing with what I consider all amazing golfers in the group, me being the real am that just plays for fun. I was playing okay. I was not playing. Had some bad shots.
Your beautiful wife was out there,
and my wife was there with me, and we get to this hole where it's the longest drive.
You get
you get a reward for being the longest drive.
Okay,
it was a tournament where you get a reward for being the longest drive, and then there was something. Somebody before us had already hit a long drive, and there was a little flag in the middle of the fairway with the person's name on there, and so a couple of people in our group, 2 other people hit, and then I hit, and it was amazing. It was a beautiful drive. I was like, man, I never get this right. The longest drive, you try real hard, and it doesn't, it never works out, but it worked out, and I was right from where we could see, probably about 300 and some odd yards away. I was right by, probably like 310, 320. I was right by that flag. And it's like, man, this is awesome. How's this possible? Like, I might for the first time ever. And then this guy tees off, Matt tees off right after. And that ball, I mean, it just crushed everything. It crushed my soul to win that. And the other guy who probably thought they had an amazing, he hit it 70 yards further than any of anybody else's ball. My ball, which was close to the guy's flag, and he decided to hit that. He hadn't done that all day. He's just like, I'm just gonna try and crush
I don't really
it.
have that in me for
I
a
was
whole
like,
18
oh
holes.
my God. That's so why is he even worried about hitting between golf?
No.
It's so impressive. It was so impressive that that really
You feel
humbled
good now?
me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Is that
you.
what you
Really humbled
needed?
you.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful course. Going into the
Growth by
ninth,
long drive.
yeah, going into the, I think it was the 9th hole, going into the clubhouse.
Oh wow, he remembers it.
Going to the clubhouse, you had the Statue of Liberty
Yeah,
on the
Statue of
right.
Liberty's
I
right
was like,
there.
oh, what a beautiful. I actually thought I could write my name on
yeah.
there.
You had hope for a brief moment,
For, like, a
and then it
brief
was
mo-
gone.
But
Did you
no,
step on his ball when you walked by?
Yeah, we were playing the best shot, so at least
Okay,
we
you needed it.
we needed
All right.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a crowd there and everything. Anyways, so here, I'm worried about golf. No, so the story about coming, well, I mean, context is, so I moved to the United States when I was 15. My sister had come here to do her MBA in a very, we're from a city called Mumbai. It used to be
Yes.
Bombay. Very, very busy, big city. And so my sister came here to do her MBA to a very, very small town in Oklahoma called Enid, Oklahoma, which is middle of nowhere. She went to Phillips University, which is now, I think, part of the OSU system. There was another individual from Bombay who was doing his MBA there. He kind of helped her. He had come to visit India, helped her get admitted, and she moved there. They fell in love and moved to Dallas after they both graduated. Or he had graduated, and she was in her last semester of MBA, and then moved to Dallas to get a job. In India, when you're 15, you finish your 10th grade, and you have a little bit of a break between finishing a big exam like high school graduation here, and then college starting. For us, it's usually between April and September.
So college starts at what age in India?
16. So it's like
16,
11th
okay.
and 12th is called junior college, and
Okay.
then you pick your, even junior college is science, engineering, business, different things, right? You can do even junior college, and then so 11th, 12th you pick your path,
Okay.
and then in 12th you kind of say, okay, you double down and say this is where I want to go, and then you go for your bachelor's.
Okay.
So bachelor's is almost 6 years versus 4 years
Okay.
here.
Got it.
And then you go for your master's, right? So you get that little break before, because you take a national exam. The whole country takes this exam in March or April. Very, very stressful.
Yeah.
And then you have a little period of 4-6 months before college starts. So my sister had moved to Dallas. They were living in the villages right off of Greenville and Lovers Lane, where all the single people lived at that time, even today. And so my parents, dad worked at a national bank for 30 plus years. Said, hey, look, we'll give you a ticket. Go spend a few months with your sister, and then come back, and life will start back here as a reward for passing that exam. So I came here. She was still going. She was finishing up at SMU. My brother-in-law at that time, they weren't married, who just had found a job in Richardson, and so just came and hung out at their apartment all day long. Day would start with getting up, eating cereal, which is a luxury, all the fancy cereals that you have here in the grocery stores, and then starting with Price is Right and watching Saved by the Bell and Jeopardy and
I love this
Wheel of
story.
Fortune. That's how I spend
Yeah.
my day, and then go to the gym, run around the park there. So it was all good. But a couple of weeks into here, I was like, I don't want to go back. I want to stay here. I don't want to go back to India. And so, this is pre-internet. Think about Yellow Pages and Maps.go. And so they're like, well, let's figure out, if you want to stay. We don't know how you can stay. My sister, who must have been 22 at that time. She's like, I don't know how you stay here. I've only been in the country myself for a year and a half. So our first trip was, hey, let's go ask some other Indians in the area how I can stay here. So they said, well, you need to go to high school here. You just finished 10th grade, so you still have to do 11th and 12th. So we went to Richardson High School, and the principal, the superintendent, somebody there said, hey, look, you guys will have to move to Richardson to go to high school here. But we as a school, we don't, you get a 4 months, I should mention, you get a 4-month visa when you come, a tourist visa. Okay. So I came on a tourist visa. That's very important. A 4-month visa. So if that extends, then I become an illegal immigrant in this country. Okay. Right?
So you had a deadline.
Deadline, 4 months. Yeah. So everybody gets that deadline. You can extend it if you fall sick or something like that for few weeks. But at 4 months, you got to go back. Otherwise, you're never allowed back in the U.S. So
why did you prefer the U.S. over going back to India?
So for the first, we lived in a very small home in India. 6 of us, and plus 3 sisters, myself, my parents, in about a 600 square foot apartment. At some point, grandparents were there as well before they passed away.
600 square feet?
600 square feet apartment. So me being the youngest was kind of crowding. So when I was 7, my parents shipped me off to boarding school. Okay. And I spent 8 years there, coming home for maybe a month and a half, 2 months in small periods. Didn't have any connection to the house or the home or the city of Bombay.
Okay.
Kind of been independent and resourceful.
Yeah.
The school was about 8 hours by car away from home. So my whole life had been from the time I was 7 through 15, 7 years old to 15 years old. So there was no like, oh, I'm going to miss that.
Yeah.
I looked on looking for the next thing, right? And coming here was that connection to mom, dad, home was not that strong for me, right or wrong. It just had happened.
You didn't have the roots that maybe your sisters did. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so very early on being here, I was like, I want to be here. And so they were helpful. And when we went to Richardson, they said, hey, you can move here, but once you finish your 4-month period, you will become illegal. We don't report you to ICE. ICE was there at that time too, or USCIS. But at that time it was the Afghan war was going on. There were a lot of immigrants coming in from Kurdistan, or there were a lot of Kurds in here, a lot of Afghanis coming in, and they were settling all over the Dallas, Richardson. So like, we have others here, the refugees, so it's okay. We are not responsible. So we said, okay, well, how do I become a legal immigrant? And the only way for a student to be a legal immigrant is called an F1 visa. F1 visa, typically at that time, this is 1991, was given to master's students who came to the United States to do their master's from India, especially in engineering or doctorate, right? Or my sister came for MBA. So we were familiar with that. But, high schools weren't doing F1s.
Yeah.
So we looked at a couple of trade schools, like, hey, welding or something like that, just to stay in. And that was not my interest. Plus, they weren't doing visas. So the Richardson principal said, well, we don't do it. Richardson High School Eagles, we don't do it. But some other high school might. I don't know. So, well, how do I find out what other high schools are there? So take the yellow pages and start from A. Call every high school, right? And find out if somebody will do. Yeah. So, okay, it seemed like a great idea. I have hours to kill in the morning. Kind of built a routine. We'll do it from 10
before
to 12.
Before the Wheel of Fortune starts?
Before Price is Right.
Before Price is Right. Yeah, that's 9 o'clock, I think.
I think that was 11 o'clock or something. So before Price is Right, right? So started with A and Arlington and Allen. And most of those were, your typical sales calls. Like, yeah, we don't know what you're talking about. Click. you get somebody on the phone, you're calling their ISD administration buildings,
And they don't know.
and they have no idea. I mean, it's like, wait, we don't know what you're talking about. Thank you, great. If they didn't answer, right? But in those days, people answered. There was always somebody answering your phone, and so A, B, C, just you can think of all the school districts and schools, right? And it was getting tiresome, and but had to keep going. And so then got to H, and called the school district called Highland Park ISD, and really sweet old lady answers the phone, and she goes, what is this about? And I said, well, looking to see if your school will sponsor a foreign student for an F1 visa. Clearly zero idea, right? Like no idea what, even I had rehearsed my speech. I'd gotten really good at it. It's like, but she said, hey, we have our attorney in the office today. He's visiting. Let me get him on the phone. So he gets on the phone, very nicely sits and listens to the whole thing, starts asking me questions like, well, how did you get here? Who are you living with? Oh, my sister. Okay, are you living in Highland Park? I said, well, I don't even know where Highland Park is, but this is where I live. He's like, oh, wow, it's really, really close.
It's a really inexpensive place to live.
Yeah. Well, where I was living, he's like, it's really close. It's right across the highway. I'm like, really? Okay. So he said, well, I'll go back to my office. I'm not an immigration attorney, but we do have an immigration practice in our law firm, and I'm going to go check, and I'll call you back tomorrow at this time. Okay. Now, this is a day without cell phones. I don't think even caller ID was still around. You had voicemail, the little tape, people were able to leave voicemail.
Yeah.
But he said, I'll call around 11:15 tomorrow. I was like, okay. That was like the first real conversation, the longest conversation.
Yeah.
And the guy calls me back on the dot the next day and says, okay, here's what you're going to do. I've talked to our attorney. I've talked to Highland Park. We need you to come visit and come talk to us. And immediately he had a whole plan. He said, your sister needs to become your legal guardian. Your parents need to send some custody documents. After she becomes legal guardian, we're going to file for your F1. We think you should get it, and y'all need to move here, and you can start school as soon as the fall semester starts. Okay, I mean that was nirvana. Like I have a plan. I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
I called everybody. So excited. Went to visit the administration building. Then they walked me through the high school. By the time we went to visit a day or two later, they had everything ready.
Wow.
Incredible, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, all you guys have to do is move. And so we, that walk through that high school was probably the greatest feeling that I had at that time. Just walking through, looking at the facilities. We started off from the basketball gym, and in my boarding school, we would have one basketball we'd all fight over. And here you'd racks of basketballs.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Just doing the tour of the school, it was like a morning break, and it felt like it was something out of a TV show.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody looked cool. The girls were probably the most beautiful girls I'd seen in my life. I was like, this is it. This is where I want to be. I don't want to leave this place. And so that's really what it was. I mean, I couldn't wait to get started over there. So we looked around. We found an apartment that we could afford, where today it's, I think, the SMU softball fields right at Mockingbird and 75.
Okay.
The apartments don't even exist anymore. They've been raised out, and it's now softball fields. But that's where it was, and that's kind of how it started here, was to be able to go to one of the best school districts, be have the best 2 years I could have imagined. Make some of the best friends. Play a sport I'd never seen before.
What'd you play?
Played football there. Excelled. Got a scholarship to play at SMU.
What?
And
Okay. No.
No.
You picked up football essentially your junior year of high school.
Yes.
Your junior
I'd
year
never
of high
seen it or played it before.
What position?
Played wide receiver
And
and
like-
free safety.
Oh, wideout?
Yeah,
and free safety.
And a saint.
I'm still. I was
No,
acting like this when I was hearing it for the first time.
No.
But like, there's a milestone there that's important too, right? Because you had to go to college to keep that F1 going, correct?
Yeah.
Well, apparently he's
Yeah.
a football
Yeah.
prodigy.
Figured out how to throw,
Right.
catch a football.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. Yeah. No, it's football, sports, athletics, and even the football story is I tried. Basketball was a sport. Soccer was not that big at that time here still. So I said, okay, I'm going to play basketball. And then I played JV a little bit because season kind of teams I made. Didn't get much playing time, but enjoyed it. And then when it came to varsity, the coach called me and said, hey, listen, you will get a spot on the team, but you're not going to get playing time as much. This is my junior year spring semester. And he's saying, I've had boys in my system. They know everything. You're great at defending and rebounding, but your dribbling skills and you don't know all our plays. I mean, coming from India, didn't have basketball at that level, but was athletic enough to pick it up. He's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to try something else? And I said, well, thanks, coach. Those boys that are like running around and throwing the football around there, can I go run around with them? So he literally walked me from the basketball gym to the football field, Coach Frank Beaver's head coach, and said, hey, here's a kid from India, been in our basketball program, can he run around with y'all? And the coach could not say my name, Frank Beaver, so he called me Bart.
Barg?
Bart Simpson.
Oh, Bart.
and said, and he could not say 2-syllable or 3-syllable names, and said, just run around. And so that was spring ball, ran around, worked out all summer, fall, and in those days you would have these Dallas Morning News Player of the Week things.
Yes.
But you're a senior and you're playing football for the first time.
First
now.
time. Yeah. First game of the season was against Bishop Lynch. I was Player of the Week for Dallas.
Wow.
Okay. And you get your picture in the paper.
Yeah.
But you say running around. I was running around, but you were
like it's
probably
recess or
training.
something.
You were-
I mean, I didn't practicing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, learning all the plays, and my gosh, it was insane. But I loved it. Like you talk about passion, right? The coaches will still, if they're would still say like, I couldn't go home. I didn't have a car, so my brother-in-law would drop me off at like 6:30 in the morning at school. I would just hang out. Then either one of my friends would drop me off, or somebody would come pick me up. I would have to call them on the payphone, and then they would come. My brother-in-law or my sister would come pick me up. I didn't have a car, so I was at school all day long. So, first one to practice, last one to leave, staying in the locker room the whole time.
You looked really committed, but you really just didn't have a car.
The thing is, all these things weren't like really intentional. It was just what it had to be for me to survive.
Yeah.
Eat at the school, right? Like do whatever you can. Walk to the McDonald's at Lovers and Tollway. Like I would do that walk. There's a Subway at Lovers and Tollway that I would walk to. So that was how I stayed at Highland Park High School. And so that was fun. That was the fun. That was the best times. Like I can't even complain.
Yeah.
And then you went to SMU.
I didn't. So the SMU story, they gave me the coaches really helped trying to get me to stay and get that. So they gave me $4,000 scholarship at that time, and I still have the letter. And did the tour, and at that time it was $20,000 to go to SMU, and my dad was still in a bank on a government salary, And I called him and said, "Hey, Dad, look, I need $20,000. I need $16,000. High school was free, but college, I need $16,000." And his exact words were, "That's not even my life savings. Like, I don't have $16,000. That's a lot of money."
Mm-hmm.
So we had to back away from SMU.
Okay.
And then at the very last minute, UTD, just like Highland Park, came to the rescue. And I was the first kind of freshman class at UTD. UTD was a commuter school or a master school before that.
Mm-hmm.
I was part of their first 4-year bachelor's program. And so UTD stepped up, and I went to UTD.
Yeah.
What was your major there?
Political science and business. The idea was to go to law school.
Yeah. Okay. Did you go to law school?
No.
You didn't do that? Okay.
Law school also costs a lot of money.
Yes, it does.
So even at UTD, I was an international student. So while kids were paying $600 and $300, I was paying 6x of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Dad didn't have money, so had to work here. Worked every kind of job you can think of to pay off school. And then I was like, okay, law school was great. At UTD, I had really good grades, and LSAT did really well. So I pretty much got into every law school, but it was expensive. Mm-hmm. And so I said, okay, I'll work for 2 years, do some sales, and that's when Wordling started.
Okay.
In between law school and bachelor's UTD, and then this is it. We're here.
Yeah.
Law school took a back
27 years later.
Law school took a back seat. Yeah. So I graduated college in 97 or 98, and Wordling started officially in 98, and I did kind of 2 jobs at that time, and then 99 I came on board full time, and just it's been.
So what happened to the visa, right? Like you stayed in school.
Yeah, so you get your visa through school. The F1 visa, UTD picked it up, and then you move on to your immigration, like your work visa, H1.
Okay.
And then you get your green card, and then a few years later you get your citizenship. And so
I didn't know any of that.
2011, I became a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
So from 1991 to 2011, and 2011 I became a U.S. citizen.
So
and
during that whole time, I don't know if you can say this or not, but during that whole time, were you ever here as an illegal immigrant?
No.
Yeah.
That was the key, right? If Highland Park had not stepped up, I was fully prepared to go back to India.
Yeah.
It was it. Like at that 4-month period, because I wanted to come back. I could have gone to India, done some more schooling, applied for a master's program here. That was traditional, and so that was the expected path. Was go back to India, get your bachelor's degree done, then apply for your master's, come back for your MBA over here. The plan was for me after I'd been here a few weeks, month, I was like, I'm coming back. So then that would have become but because there was this little hope that some high school might step up and do an F1, which I don't think, I've not found another person like me. And if people are listening out there, or whenever, if somebody can find another individual, because I have not found, I've tried to help others.
Yeah.
For example, Frisco, we're part of Frisco ISD today, and Frisco doesn't do that.
Yeah.
I've tried to help others, some of my friends, and say, hey, send your kids here for high school, and they can stay with us. And Frisco doesn't do it today. They don't do the F1 visa for a high school. So I have not seen anybody. I don't know why Highland Park decided to do it, if they've ever done it after, if they had done it before. It was just,
Yeah. Well, I was inspired by your story, and
that's a good story.
I just had a desire for that story to be out there, right?
No,
because there's just right now there's a lot of negative connotation around immigration, and you're a very positive example of immigration, and you follow the rules, and
it is.
I don't know, it was just a blessing to hear your story for sure. Yeah.
The football story was so great. Go run around with these guys. Who knew you were that good?
No, I don't know anything about being good, but it was
Player of the week.
It was fun. It was I mean, there's so many things that are going on today that they weren't out there at that time, right? I mean, if I can say this, if you look at my high school class picture, you can clearly pick me out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at that time, I think it's
Yeah.
changed now.
Yeah.
But I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
People are pointing that out today. The pictures in my office and at home, and people, oh, look at that. When I was there, that wasn't something, I'm proud to say, that wasn't something that was that obvious to me.
Yeah.
Everybody picks on things and makes jokes, and there's silly jokes, and you give it back, and there's banter, and there's all of that. But the parents were super kind. I felt like they were kind to me because, hey, they saw, here's a kid from India who's living with his sister. You know, let's give him rides. Let's invite him over for dinner. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's, at lunch, because all the moms worked the lunch line at Highland Park High School, and so you got to know everybody every day. And I loved lunch over there. Right, it was $1.50, 2 burgers, 2 fries, chocolate milk, or football player growing, you ate like crazy, and so they noticed that. And to be honest, I tell this to everybody. I'm like, I didn't notice that I was different.
Yeah.
I wasn't treated that way.
Yeah.
And so I'm always looking for that. Like I don't, looking for that positive as why do we need to feel that way? If you're talking about following the rules, assimilating yourself, being open about where you're from. I taught, for an international class, I taught the kids how to play cricket, expose them to Indian food. It was, we talk about these things today. In those days, it was just what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was English a language that is in Mumbai, most people
so
learn?
that was an advantage. The boarding school, we were only allowed to speak in English. We actually got punished if we spoke any other language besides English.
How many languages can you speak?
Yeah, I mean, all the, in India we have English, then we have the national language, which is Hindi. Then you have the state. So we migrated to a state from Iran. My ancestors were originally from Iran. And so you migrate to a state called Gujarat. So we learned to speak Gujarati, which is state language. We live in a different state now, so you have to learn that. That's Maharashtra Marathi. So that's 4. And then you have to take a foreign language, which was French for me in those days. So you have to pass the exam. I don't speak French. I can speak the other stuff, but I did enough to pass. I did enough to pass the exam. But you have to take an international language as well to pass this big exam.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
it's okay.
It's inspiring, man. It's like it's humbling because I barely even know English.
That is true.
Listen, the philosophy was at that time. Looking back, there's no plan B, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no plan B. At one point, it's okay. You're going to call all the schools, and then you're going to find a way to stay here, and be legal, and do this, and you're going to have to move. And you have to graduate, and you have to go to college, and there was no other option but to continue down this path.
Yeah.
And that's just, you take it in stride, you use common sense, and you have fun with it.
Yeah.
I actually like what you just described. I call it being desperate, because you don't have a plan B. So plan A has to work, and you're desperate to make sure it does. That is my favorite trait to hire a sales rep for. Like, if I know they don't have a plan B, like they're desperate to be successful. Like,
that's a great point.
Yeah. I'm just like, they'll make it. They don't have any other option. They have to.
Too many options.
You're right.
You're
right.
No, there's too many options. And I try to at least work that way at home. Doesn't always work at work with everybody, but at home I try to work that way with this is it. We're gonna go with this, right? Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Well, I know Lori's ready for her lightning round.
I have a lightning round, Burgess.
Go for it.
Okay. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Night owl.
How late?
Usually 12:30, 1 o'clock.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
What time you wake up?
Whatever time the kids need to get up to go to school. So I still have a kid that 15-year-old at home that plays football. So yeah, early morning practice.
Oh, yeah, he has 6 a.m. practice.
Yeah,
okay, that's not a lot
So
of sleep.
you're 5-6 hours of
Yeah,
sleep.
5-6 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not me.
That's not me either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Thank you. Oh, I
A
was gonna
beautiful
have to ask
dog.
you to leave if-
Beautiful dog at home.
Okay. What is it?
It's a golden doodle. Yeah.
I love it already.
He's as human as you can imagine.
I love him. I love
Yeah.
the dog. If you were forced to karaoke, what would you sing?
Oh, probably some Bollywood Hindi song.
I want to hear that.
Me too. Can we
So
do that? Can we cut to that? Okay. All
Because
right.
nobody, I can always do stuff that y'all won't.
No,
Yeah.
we have no idea. We love it. This guy's
You're probably
amazing.
just cussing us
Yeah,
out.
we don't know. We don't know.
I'm talking about the words. The karaoke, the biggest fear is like you mess up the words. But hey,
Yeah.
how would you know any
No
different?
one would know. We'd be so enamored. All right. The superpower you'd pick to have
Oh
for
my
24 hours. You get one day to have it.
Yeah, fly. I guess would be
Fly.
Superman.
That's
Yeah,
an easy one.
a good
That's
one.
easy.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd take it
It's
too.
solid.
What's one word your friends would use to describe you?
I don't know how to say it in one word, but problem solver.
Okay. I could see that. If there's a zombie apocalypse,
Resourceful. I would say
Resourceful.
resourceful. Resourceful.
Okay,
I'll
resourceful.
go back to
that's
resourceful.
your whole job.
My
Yeah.
whole life.
Why not that one?
Resourceful.
All right. If there's a zombie apocalypse, what is your survival role for the camp?
Oh yeah, fighting the zombies. Easy.
Obviously. That's a good
Obvious.
one. Okay. Unlimited sushi or unlimited tacos?
Yes. Sushi.
I would pick that too. Would you pick tacos?
Yeah,
Oh,
I would.
that's a
Yeah,
shame.
I think I would for sure.
Yeah.
That's all.
I want to know what your favorite Indian dish is.
Hard to. Not something you're going to get in restaurants. So it's kind of
Okay.
like a homemade.
Well, that's not helping me. At
Yeah,
all if I
no,
can't get it.
the Indian. So,
Can you just make it for him?
yeah, look, I can do that.
Okay.
I can do that.
Yes.
I can do that.
Yes.
So it's cultural, right? If you were from families from Iran, moved to India, a couple of generations before me, but then there's like a combination of dishes that have
Okay.
that you so you're not going to find that. There's no restaurant that serves this. Serves that kind of food, but man, look. Indian food is the variety is incredible,
Yeah.
right? It's absolutely incredible. So, you have to just taste it all. You
Yeah.
have to just kind of try everything
Okay.
and never just say you have a favorite.
I'm
right?
very intimidated by it because I don't.
I don't know
what to order.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know
that's
what to
that's
order.
a good point.
Yeah.
What's
So
the okay?
we'll make
But
it a-
what's the if you were to say if you went to a Indian restaurant here in the United States, what dish should we have?
Yeah, I mean, look, the most flavorful one is going to be your butter chicken, chicken makhani. That's going to be flavorful. Definitely try the breads, the Indian breads, the naan, and then there is a rice dish which is, kind of like a paella, Spanish paella, which is called biryani, right? So
Okay.
different people. So that's the thing where North India, South India, East, West makes it all different, the biryani.
Yeah.
So you're going to get all those flavors
Yeah.
in that rice dish, right?
Yeah.
It's rice with the meats, with the veggies and saffron and all the spices. So you're going to get that. You
Yeah.
can't go wrong.
Yeah.
So if you go with the butter chicken, the naan, there's a barbecue style in India called tandoori, which is on skewers and an open clay oven, so open coal fire. If you get any of those things, you're not going to go wrong. Whether
Yeah.
it's chicken or
Okay.
lamb or shrimp, you can barbecue anything in that kind of
Yeah.
way.
I feel more
Tandoori.
prepared.
Yeah.
I feel.
Well, we got to
yeah.
do this. I'll
Yeah.
take y'all.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
make
Wait,
this
can I
happen.
come to you?
All.
Okay, all right.
All.
I was just. I know there's like a
Oh.
love thing with
No.
or whatever. I want to come.
I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
No, absolutely, Laurie.
Okay.
The love thing is not just for man.
Just making
It's just
sure.
deeper. It's just deeper.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, this is cool.
This is awesome, man. Thank you so much
No,
for
thank
taking
you all.
the time to do this.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And thank you, Lori, for this too, and
My
having these
pleasure.
awesome lightning round questions. You're
Yeah.
killing it.
I want to go meet his dog now.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about
Yeah.
dogs.
Amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, but I really appreciate it. And we
Yes.
kind of sign off on this usually by saying, and I think you can probably agree that there's a lot of different seasons that people are in. But no matter what your season is that you're in, growth is coming.
Yep.
You know, so
In every way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
thank you, man.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Barjis.
That's a great platform. Thank you
Yeah.
all.
Thank you.
Thanks.